When we think about parenting, one of the things that we really have to focus on is the level of support that we have from people around us, whether it be family, whether it be friends, or even just neighbors who are willing to help out when things seem a little bit stressful. I did want to talk about how to reach out, how to have those conversations so you can involve more of your extended family as a part of the development of the child, or just being able to help you to keep things very consistent in their care. So as we think about families that come from different cultures, different backgrounds, some families may have a little bit more values on involving those extended families. Other people may come from families where they feel that they have to do everything independently, or they feel that they may not be able to reach out when they need that support. I do think that having that support not only helps the parents, but also the child to interact more, to learn new social settings, and just learn new behaviors from other individuals outside of the home. With the involvement of family members, this does help in social interactions. So they're able to learn new behaviors from their parents that are being modeled in the home, take them out of the home, practice them with people that they enjoy being around, are comfortable being around, and are not afraid to take risks. It does help them practice those skills, and then they can implement them in school, in social settings, and with friends. This reduces the judgment that they may feel that they get from trying new behaviors, and it actually helps increase using more of the modeled behaviors that they're learning. So one of the things I did want to touch on, because sometimes support can become a little overbearing. If we're reaching out to family members and they want to be over involved, or they're just willing to help when the help is not needed. So this is where parents really need to work hard on creating those boundaries and letting them know that I will ask for that help. Just like we're trying to teach our children, hey, ask when you need the help. I'm not going to jump in as a savior. We want to practice those same things when we're reaching out for support. One of the concepts that I like to talk with all families that I work with is the concept of triangulation. So this concept says that when we're feeling anxious as a couple and we have a child that we're focusing on, we have to really look at, are we using this child's care as an outlet for our own anxieties? Are we using it to mask our troubles or our issues that we're not willing to address? It becomes very, very easy for both partners and both caregivers to really focus on this child. And it does make it easy. It makes it easy that now I don't have to worry about anything that's happening in my life because I have this focus. And so we triangulate this child in, and we really use it to reduce our own anxieties, even though we're not addressing those anxieties. So this level really also can be applied to how we're seeking support. We may seek support because it makes it easy, and it makes it easier for us to just push everything aside that's really concerning, causing us stress, causing us to be exhausted. And so this is the level of support we want to stay away from. We don't want to seek support just to make it easier, but we also want to identify how it could help in raising the child, or sometimes when we're feeling burnt out, as we've talked about before, it's really helpful, but we don't want to use that as a primary reason. Because I can't deal with my child, I'm going to go hand them off to this other family member. You want to be able to recognize why you're seeking that help. And so these are just some of the do's and don'ts of bringing in that support and using it to not only benefit you, but the development of the child. This helps you and your partner have more time together. It, again, helps your child just experience new settings, and you're able to have a more closer, cohesive relationship with that extended family. So as we look at families that may not be, quote unquote, that traditional style, we can look at families that come from a multi-generational household. We may have grandparents that are living there who may have their own ways, their own parenting styles that may differ from the parents. And so this becomes really important, again, to set those boundaries of what it looks like, how you can share those responsibilities, and how you can really focus on and pick the good that you can take from maybe something the elder individuals can bring to the table that can be helpful, that maybe the parents weren't aware of. And so this is where it becomes that art of what that parenting style is like, and you make it your own. And so talking about that and having the open communication and setting those boundaries is usually the most helpful in those situations. And I would also say, families coming from a single household, or even blended families, there's going to be lots of ideas, lots of ways that children are raised, lots of mixed feelings on how children should be raised. And again, we come back to this: how do we communicate? How do we feel supported? And how can we blend both of these parenting styles together that works for both parties? And we definitely want to highlight that everybody has a voice in this. Not one person is stronger than the other, or the voice is stronger than the other. But we need to focus on, we need to work together. We need to have that united front, as I've talked about, and just letting that child know. Coming from large families, that also becomes a good way of looking at some children may be different than others, or are different than others. And so we have to have a different approach. So if there's multiple children in the family, your approach may not work the same. So really looking at developing a new parenting style, looking at how can I bring in these different, talking with our own parents, our in-laws, our extended family members, of what's going to help. So seeking that support, not only for physical support, emotional support, but also to learn, take something away from the conversations that you're having. And that's only going to help you build that repertoire of how we can parent the best way that we can.